The Salem Witch Trials, how fear led to the execution of innocent people.
You have pled guilty to the practice of witchcraft, but such a plea is not sufficient to spare your life.
In the quiet village of Salem, Massachusetts, the year 1692 would become one of the darkest chapters in early American history. Over the span of just a few months, fear, paranoia, and religious extremism ignited a frenzy that led to the deaths of 20 innocent people and the imprisonment of many more. This is the chilling story of the Salem Witch Trials and how fear alone can destroy lives. The spark. It began in the cold winter of 1692 in the home of Reverend Samuel Parris. His 9-year-old daughter Betty and 11-year-old niece Abigail Williams suddenly began exhibiting strange behavior, screaming, contorting, and speaking in tongues. Doctors, unable to explain the symptoms, diagnosed them with bewitchment. Yes, in a deeply religious Puritan society, the devil was a very real presence, and witchcraft was a capital crime. The girls accused 3 women of witchcraft: Tituba, a slave owned by Parris; Sarah Good, a homeless beggar; and Sarah Osborne, an elderly, unpopular woman. These 3 women, poor, marginalized, and powerless, were the perfect scapegoats. And with that, the panic began. The spread of fear. What followed was a wildfire of fear. More girls began showing symptoms, and more accusations flooded in. People who had once been neighbors, friends, even family turned on each other. The local court, fueled by panic, accepted spectral evidence, claims that the spirit of an accused person had appeared to the victim in a dream or vision. No proof was required. Just an accusation could mean imprisonment or death. Trials were chaotic. Confessions, often made under duress or torture, were treated as gospel. Those who refused to confess were hanged. Those who did confess were often spared, but left branded as witches for life. By the time the hysteria ended, 19 people had been hanged. One man, Giles Corey, was pressed to death with stones for refusing to plead, and more than 150 had been imprisoned. The turning point. Eventually, doubt crept in. Prominent citizens began to question the validity of the trials. Ministers urged caution. The governor of Massachusetts, William Phips, intervened when his own wife was accused. He disbanded the special court and prohibited further arrests. In 1693, the remaining prisoners were released. But for the families of the dead, it was too late. In the years that followed, the colony admitted the trials had been a grave mistake. In 1697, a day of fasting and soul-searching was declared. And in 1702, the trials were officially labeled unlawful. Lessons of Salem. The Salem Witch Trials remain a haunting reminder of what happens when fear overrides reason. They show how easily mass hysteria can be weaponized, how authority figures can fail the people they're meant to protect, and how societies can turn on their most vulnerable during times of uncertainty. In the end, the true evil wasn't witchcraft, it was fear, ignorance, and unchecked power. Let Salem remind us, the real danger is not what we don't understand, but what we're willing to believe when we're afraid. If you found this story powerful, consider sharing it. Let's make sure history's darkest moments are never forgotten and never repeated. Subscribe for more untold stories that still matter today. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay human.